Hello, Merfolk fans. I'm Joe. Thank you for joining me. I'm here with the third round of a competitive Modern League. This is a replay. So let's see. It looks like the opponent won the die roll here. So they will be on the play. They chose to keep 7. And this is a keep for me. You have to imagine this kind of as a mulligan to 6 with the double AEther Vial. If we had Silvergill, Master of Waves, Copter, Vial, and 2 lands on a mulligan to 6, it would be a bomb hand. And the extra AEther Vial is just something that we can pitch away to the Smuggler's Copter. So a very easy keep for me here. Actually, quite like this hand. Okay, we see Verdant Catacombs. That could mean Thoughtseize, in which case the opponent probably takes up, but never mind. We see a Stomping Ground. An interesting grab off of Verdant Catacombs. I guess this could be Jund. But here's a Wild Necatl, so I guess it's some kind of zoo. Unless it's some kind of burn. That runs black and green. Oh, there's a Mutavault. Well, okay, so not too much to think about this turn. We'll just play the Vial and pass. I was just thinking about things that I might pitch to Smuggler's Copter. Okay, opponent looks like, oh, they're just going straight to combat. Getting in with the Wild Necatl. Nothing I can do about it. Go down to 18. Oh, and the opponent didn't play a second land. That's huge because if I draw a Spreading Seas, we get so far ahead. Even if we don't, we're going to get so far ahead. Man, that's greedy, keeping a 1-lander on the play without AEther Vial in the deck. Okay, so more gas. That's what I wanted to see. So easy choice here, just to run out Smuggler's Copter. We'll be able to start crewing it up next turn. And we can pitch this Vial over the island as we see necessary. We're also going to be able to start using our AEther Vial. Okay, opponent's bolting me. It could be some kind of burn. Or could, again, still just be zoo. I guess we're going to have to see what else they're bringing. Okay, so they drew a land. A big sigh of relief on their side of the table. Okay, attack with the Wild Necatl. Are they going to crack that Bloodstained Mire? Huh. Well, that's really strange. They should have done that during combat if they were going to do that. They would have done 1 more point of damage to me. Alright, so there's a Tarmogoyf. I guess it is zoo after all. A 5-color zoo. So is this like Tribal Flames or something? Whatever that version of zoo is that runs... Oh, Domain, I guess. Domain Zoo. They drew another AEther Vial. That's pretty crappy. I'm going to actually hardcast the Silvergill Adept since I've got the Mutavault to do so with. We might not want to play out this island. If we drew another Mutavault, we'd probably just play that out instead. Another Silvergill's pretty good. I think I'll just jam that guy with this AEther Vial and use one of these guys to crew up the Copter. Drew another Silvergill. It's a lot of value. Alright, we're going to get in with the Smuggler's Copter. Oh, that's pretty nice. I think we can easily ditch one of these AEther Vials, right? But it does make the Tarmogoyf a little bit bigger. That's unfortunate. Okay, opponent's down to 11. Play an island, play another AEther Vial. Just want to be able to get more stuff out of our hand. Okay, opponent's going to attack. Since they're playing burn spells, I think I'm going to chump here since I've got so many bodies available in my hand. The opponent's only at 11. Alright. So I take 3, go down to 10, and the opponent just passes the turn. Gonna leave AEther Vial on 2 and take up the other... I'm sorry. I was thinking, getting ahead of myself. During my upkeep, it's smart to activate the AEther Vial with the triggers on the stack, because if we see that we drew a land, then we'll leave the AEther Vial on 2. If we don't draw a land, we'll probably want to tick it up to 3 and then get Master of Waves out the following turn. So let's get that Silvergill onto the battlefield. It drew a Harbinger, so we are going to tick it up now to 3. And we'll tick the other one up to 1. So we drew another Island Walk Lord. So it looks like I'm going to crew the Copter here. Now, I have choices. I can bounce one of the opponent's creatures. I can run out an Island Walk Lord. I can attack with both guys or just one guy. I mean, bouncing Tarmogoyf seems pretty good here. Leaves me back a blocker. Opponent's trying to bolt my Copter. I think that's going to resolve. Nothing I can do about it. Alright, so Copter down. That's a little bit unfortunate. I'm going to swing with the Silvergill Adept. Get the opponent down to 9. And then second main, I can bounce the Tarmogoyf with Harbinger. And next turn, we're going to have multiple Lords and Master of Waves jamming up our board. Making it really hard for the opponent to get his creatures. So he's, oh man, he's hitting that Harbinger. It's going to take me off my last blocker. But he's only got a 3/3, so we're not that worried. There's a mutagenic growth. Another mutagenic growth. So it's 7. The opponent has already played. Now I was thinking at this point when I calculated my attack last turn, the opponent has already played 3 lightning bolts. Surely they couldn't have a 3rd lightning bolt in hand. I mean a 4th lightning bolt. But they do. I don't know how he lost with that hand. That was an absurd hand, and the opponent only had 1 land. But we managed to lose. Let me know what I did wrong, guys, because, man, the opponent should have been super dead in that game, but they won. Oh well. Yeah, let me know what I messed up. So look away if you don't want to see the match result. I'm going to click away now. Alright, I'm back with game 2. I will be on the play this time. And this is a super spectacular hand. This is a turn 4 win if the opponent doesn't bother me. It's unlikely, but just want to put it out there. Opponent's got turn 1 plays. Oh, so Wild and Cattle as a 1/1. I'm going to use Aether Vial's ability, and then ooh, Dismember's pretty nice. So we'll jam this Silvergill Adept. I think I revealed the Cursecatcher because... no, I'm sorry. I want to be a little bit tricky here. So I just revealed Island Walk Lord. It's possible I could catch the opponent with the Cursecatcher with the Aether Vial. In some matchups, we want to get the Cursecatcher out ahead of the opponent's mana, just jam it onto the board, in which case we don't need to give more information, but let the opponent see an Island Walk Lord here in the hopes that I can counter one of their spells. So here we see a Sacred Foundry bringing the Wild and Cattle straight up to 3/3. If he attacks here, we're not going to block yet at this point. We can do some damage with our Silvergill Adept. So follow up Wild and Cattle as a 3/3. It's pretty strong. I'm going to bring in the Cursecatcher. I'll tick Aether Vial up. Another Island Walk Lord is solid. Can jam that guy. And I'm going to go to attacks in the hopes that the opponent tries to eat my Cursecatcher. And then I can trade with one of his big Wild and Cattles. So he goes for the block, but then thinks better of it and spends a moment thinking, but ultimately decides not to block. Of course, I'm still going to bring in my next Lord. The opponent's going to take 7 and go all the way down to 10. I've got Dismember up for one of his Wild and Cattles if he tries to go bananas with mutagenic growths, potentially Teamer Battle Rage. Haven't seen that yet, but I wouldn't put it past the opponent here. Now, if they've got something like a Bolt, it can kill one Lord, in which case I've still got another follow-up Lord to attack for 4, 3, and 3 for exact lethal next turn. If they play a follow-up creature, we can Dismember him. So I'm fine taking 6 here, so I'm just going to pass priority in blocks and any effects. Nope, just to 11. Feel just fine with that. Let's see what the opponent's got. Oh, of course. I should have guessed that this wasn't just basic Domain Zoo. Of course they're playing Death Shadow. So that guy's going to resolve. He's going to currently be a 3/3, but the opponent has the ability to make that guy as big as a 6/6 if they crack their Bloodstained Mire. However, If they crack their Bloodstained Mire like they do here, we can go ahead and try to dismember the Death Shadow, because cracking the Bloodstained Mire did themselves 1 more point of damage, which made Death Shadow a 4/4, but without a shock land to make him a 6/6, he's vulnerable. Now, if the opponent had like a bolt, they could bolt themselves to the face to make the Death Shadow a 7/7, which would effectively counter the Dismember. But let's see, they would go to 6 to do that, and then if they brought in, either way, if they bring in a shock land, untapped or tapped, I'm just gonna have too many bodies. Actually, if they try to bolt their own face in response, I could always sack Cursecatcher, and the Death Shadow would definitely die. So we were pretty solid in this situation. So in response to cracking the Bloodstained Mire, I do kill the Death Shadow. He doesn't try to go for the bolt to his own face to save the Death Shadow. Maybe he saw that I had the Cursecatcher, maybe he doesn't have the bolt. But at this point, the opponent just gets an untapped Stomping Ground for a Tarmogoyf. It's a 3/4. He's pretty big, but we've got lethal with them tapped out, so don't even need our next Lord. So the opponent scooped at that point. So we got there against Domain Zoo in game 2. Well, I guess it's 4-color Death Shadow Zoo. We haven't seen, I think it's called is it Tribal Flames? I can't remember the name of that card that uses Domain, and it's like a removal spell based on the number of lands that you have or something, or number of land types. It's probably just 4-color Death Shadow Zoo. Probably running Temur Battle Rage. I think this is like an older version of the Death Shadow deck. So we have to go to the game, the third game now. So look away if you don't want to see the result. The opponent's going to be on the play here, which is scary as always in Modern because these decks are so fast. This is a keep, I think. We've got 3 lands, 4 spells. I mean, it's slow, but we saw that they keep like 1 landers. We've got Dispel to protect our creature when we get it onto the board. We've got Vial. So yeah, I'll keep. And the opponent mulliganed. Actually, the opponent declared their mulligan first, which made me feel that much better about keeping this hand. So getting a little bit lucky, the opponent mulliganed to 5. So if this hand that I kept ends up being slow, in theory, we've got a better chance against this mulligan to 5, especially with Spreading Seas. Spreading Seas gets so much better against mulligans because the opponent often keeps land-light hands. Okay, so Silvergill Adept was one of the best possible draws on a narrow keep because when we get that guy out, he's a body who also draws us a card. So it's exactly what we wanted, bodies and cards. So we'll play our AEther Vial and hope the opponent just doesn't have a crazy 5-card hand. They just passed the turn, actually, straight through. They drew and passed without even cracking their foothills. So we are going to use AEther Vial's ability. Unfortunately, we can't get the Spreading Seas out yet because they would just crack their fetch land. Extra AEther Vial is interesting, but the play here is definitely to throw the Silvergill out onto the table. Island is not exciting. We'll be able to get our Lord of Atlantis out. The opponent went to their draw step and then cracked the fetch. The idea behind that is you want to leave more lands in the deck if you're trying to draw lands. And the opponent was trying to draw lands, so he waited before he removed one of his lands from his deck with the fetch land until after his draw step. So it looks like he fetches an Overgrown Tomb, shocks himself, and it looks like he did draw a Steam Vents for the turn. Steam Vents, important to note, does turn on Island Walk. The opponent shocks himself with that one as well. Alright, here's a 1/2 Tarmogoyf. This is pretty solid for a 1-lander mulligan to 5. We'll take AEther Vial up. Another Island Walk Lord is super excellent. We're going to be able to take him off his Overgrown Tomb and leave up mana for Dispel and get in for 3 with Island Walk here. So really strong turn for us. Let's see what we draw off of Spreading Seas. Another island, not that great, but fortunately we've had enough card draw that we've just been able to sort of dig through these extra lands. Swing in for 3. We've got Dispel back up in case the opponent wants to try to bolt our Lord or something like that. Now, against this deck, I brought in like 2 Dispels, 1 extra Dismember, so I have 2 Dismembers, and something else. Let me think. 2 Relics, I think. So, or maybe 3 Relics. 3 Relics, 1 extra Dismember, and 2 Dispels. Yeah, that's right. I didn't bring in all 4 Relics because it seems the only thing they're using their graveyard for is Tarmogoyf. I mean, they probably also have Traversed the Uvenwald or whatever, I guess, since it's a green deck that runs Death Shadow. Cycling Street Wraith. And looks like they just passed the turn back to me. Okay, we'll leave it on 2. Man, Master of Waves, just too much. Go ahead and just jam Lord of Atlantis. Opponent missed their land drop again, so they're off green and black. They're just stuck with blue and red. Probably not their 2 main colors. We get to attack in for 7 here. And I had a choice. Let's see, are they going to bolt or what? Okay, choosing not to bolt anything. I had a choice of leaving up Dispel or just jamming Master of Waves. And I don't see how jamming Master of Waves loses in this situation. So I decided to go that direction. He just gets a ton of tokens. The opponent's at 3. I'll get to untap next turn with Dispel. So, opponent choosing to bolt my face. Well, let's assume I didn't have the Dispel in hand. When I attacked, the opponent could have bolted this Lord and ate my other Lord. That would have been like way, way better. But I did have the Dispel, so that would have been, I guess, suboptimal. Either way, strange that the opponent didn't try to hit my Island Walk Lord, but instead went for my face. Maybe they had just resigned themselves at this point since they have no lands, and they mulligan to 5. Alright, so at that point, after their draw step, they scooped. Really easy game 3. It's unfortunate when anybody has to mulligan to 5, but I'm always happy when it's my opponent and not me. So yeah, we're 3-0 currently. We beat Gift Storm, then we beat the Mirror Match, and now we beat 4-color Death Shadow Zoo. Let me know if you have any comments on the matchup. Could I have made any different plays? I mean, I lost that first game when I had an absolutely insane hand. Basically, I just didn't really put the opponent on double mutagenic growth lightning bolt. But anyhow, we got there in game 3, so pretty happy about that. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate it, and tune in for the next video where I'll be featuring the 4th round of this competitive Modern League. Thanks, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.